Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into the latest General Hospital spoilers, and trust me, there is a ton of drama and intrigue going on right now. If you're a die-hard fan of the show, or if you just love a good soap opera twist, you're in for a wild ride. We're going to break down all the shocking secrets, unanswered questions, and unexpected connections that are starting to surface about one of the most mysterious characters in Port Charles, Brooke Lynn Quartermaine. There's a lot going on beneath the surface, and I can't wait to explore it all with you. Let's kick things off by discussing Brooke Lynn's secret, which has been causing a lot of speculation among fans. Recently, spoilers have teased that Brooke Lynn is hiding a big secret from almost everyone around her, and the only person she seems to trust with it is her mother, Lois Cerullo. Now, when a character keeps something so under wraps, you know it's going to be big. And the fact that Lois might know the truth about this secret suggests that it's something Brooke Lynn feels she can't discuss with anyone else. But what could this secret be? Well, there's a theory that it could be related to a past pregnancy, a topic that's been hinted at a few times but never fully explored until now. Could it be that Brooke Lynn was once pregnant, and that the circumstances surrounding that pregnancy were far more complicated than we ever imagined? As more details emerge, it seems that Brooke Lynn's desire to have a child with her husband, Harrison Chase, might not be as straightforward as it seems. She's been vocal about wanting a family with Chase, but could this be a way for her to make up for a child she lost or gave up years ago? There have been hints dropped in recent spoilers that suggest Brooke Lynn might have been pregnant when she was much younger, possibly even a teenager. And if she was pregnant, who was the father? The initial assumption has always been that Dante Falconeri could be the father, given their past connection. However, what if the story is more complicated than that? Here's the bombshell. We recently learned that Brooke Lynn and Dante had a summer fling years ago, during a time when they were both at camp together. This revelation came as a shock to fans, especially since it wasn't something that had ever been openly discussed before. The fact that Brooke Lynn and Dante shared a fling during their younger years could explain why they have such a complex history. But it doesn't end there. The idea that Brooke Lynn may have become pregnant during that time adds a whole new layer to their relationship, and the possibility that Dante could be the father of a child she had to give up could be a game changer. But wait, there's even more to the story. A surprising twist has emerged involving another character, Cody. It turns out that Cody and Brooke Lynn were also connected during that same summer. This is something that neither of them had mentioned before, but now, with everything coming to light, it seems like there's more to their relationship than anyone realized. What if something happened between Brooke Lynn and Cody that they both kept a secret all these years? Could there have been a romantic or physical relationship between the two that neither of them has ever acknowledged? Let's break this down a bit further. We know that Brooke Lynn and Dante had some kind of relationship during that summer, but what if something went wrong between them? Could there have been a falling out or a fight that caused Brooke Lynn to turn to Cody for comfort? What if Brooke Lynn and Cody ended up getting closer during that time, and their connection went beyond just friendship? The possibility that Brooke Lynn might have gotten pregnant during that summer, and the father could either be Dante or Cody, opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. The fact that neither of them has spoken about this in years suggests that there's something they don't want anyone to know. And maybe that's the real reason they've both been keeping this secret for so long. Now, let's consider the role that Lois plays in all of this. If Brooke Lynn did indeed become pregnant during that summer and was unable to keep the baby, it's possible that Lois was involved in helping her daughter with the situation. Could it be that Lois helped Brooke Lynn place the baby for adoption, without Brooke Lynn ever knowing the true identity of the adoptive parents? This theory would explain why Lois seems to be the only person who is in on whatever secret Brooke Lynn is keeping. Lois might have facilitated an adoption process that ensured Brooke Lynn never learned the full details about what happened to her child. But if that's the case, who ended up adopting Brooke Lynn's baby? And could that child be someone we already know in Port Charles? There's a growing theory that the child Brooke Lynn gave up for adoption all those years ago could actually be Gio Palmieri, a character we've seen recently. What if this child, now grown up, is connected to Brooke Lynn in a way she never expected? It would explain some of the mysterious interactions between Gio and Brooklyn that we've seen in recent episodes. But here's where things get even more complicated. If Brooklyn was pregnant during that summer, and if her child was adopted by someone else, how would she feel about finding out the truth years later? Would she be angry, relieved, or even excited to reconnect with her child? Now, let's take a moment to think about the bigger implications of all this. If it turns out that Gio is indeed Brooklyn's son, the repercussions could be massive for everyone involved. For Brooklyn, it would mean confronting her past in a way she never expected, and for Lois, it would mean explaining why she kept this secret from her daughter. And let's not forget about Dante and Cody. Either of them could be the biological father of Gio, and if the truth comes out, it could lead to some explosive confrontations and dramatic twists. Imagine the tension between these three characters as they navigate the fallout from this revelation. This also opens the door for some major relationship shifts. If Brooklyn's secret comes to light, it could affect her marriage to Harrison Chase. Would Chase be able to handle the truth about her past, especially if it involves a child she gave up years ago? How would this impact her relationship with Dante and Cody? The dynamics between these characters are about to change, and we're in for one wild ride. So, what do you all think about these bombshell revelations? Were you shocked to learn that Brooklyn and Dante had a summer fling, and do you think Cody and Brooklyn were more than just friends during that time? Do you believe that Gio is the child Brooklyn gave up for adoption, and if so, what kind of impact will this have on everyone involved? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so make sure to leave a comment below and let's talk about all these juicy spoilers. Next, we're talking about Jason Morgan, the iconic heartthrob of Port Charles, and the burning question that has fans buzzing: who should Jason be with under the mistletoe this holiday season? With so many potential love interests swirling around him, it's time to explore the choices and break down which lady could finally win Jason's heart. There are so many possibilities, and I want to hear what you all think, so let's dive right into it. First up, we can't talk about Jason Morgan without mentioning Elizabeth Baldwin. Jason and Liz have quite the complicated history. Not only do they share a son together, but their relationship has been on and off for years. Liz, as we know, has been involved with quite a few men in Port Charles, and Jason is just one chapter in her ever-expanding book of romances. While they share a bond through their son, it's clear that General Hospital is steering Elizabeth back toward her former love, Lucky Spencer. The chemistry between Jason and Elizabeth has always been palpable, but considering the fact that Liz has such a deep connection with Lucky, and their history of getting back together, Jason might be left to ponder whether pursuing a relationship with her is really in the cards at this point. Sure, the shared history with their son is there, but could it be that Liz's heart belongs elsewhere for now? Now, let's talk about Carly Spencer, because we all know Jason and Carly have a history like no other. These two have been through thick and thin together, loyal to a fault. They've been there for each other in ways no one else could ever match. Of course, there's the small matter of their brief marriage, about 27 minutes long, but still memorable. Then, there's the fact that Carly's ex-husband, Sonny Corinthos, came back from the dead, literally, and suddenly, the picture got much more complicated. Jason and Carly have agreed that they like being in the friend zone, but let's face it, their relationship has always been much deeper than just friendship. They've shared everything from deep loyalty to intense moments of passion, and their bond is undeniable. But let's not forget about Sonny's feelings. Both Jason and Carly are fiercely loyal, especially to Sonny, and a reunion between them would likely cause way too much drama. Not to mention, Carly's been spending a lot more time with the bad boy, Jack Brennan, so for now, it seems like the idea of Jarly is off the table. That brings us to Anna Devane. Now, this one is interesting. It's clear that General Hospital is testing the waters with a potential Jason and Anna pairing. They shared a kiss when they were in danger, and since then, we've seen them coming together on more than one occasion to deal with the threat posed by Valentine Cassadine. Anna is a seasoned super agent, and Jason is, well, Jason, an assassin with a heart of gold. There's a certain chemistry between them that can't be denied, and even Jack Brennan has commented on the growing bond between these two. But here's the thing, while the chemistry between Jason and Anna is undeniable, many fans still feel the awkwardness of their first kiss. So, is this pairing really worth exploring? Should we let the awkwardness fade, or is there something more to this relationship that needs to be explored? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. What about Sasha Gilmore Corbin? This one might surprise you, but hear me out. Sasha has been through so many tragedies in her life that it's almost hard to keep track. From losing her son to the traumatic events that followed, she's been through it all. And let's be real, this girl could really use a good man by her side. That man, however, should not be her cousin, Cody Bell. Don't even get me started on that situation. But what if that man were Jason Morgan? It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Jason and Sasha have already shared some key moments together, and there's a foundation of mutual respect and care between them. Jason saved Sasha from the evil Jens Sidwell, and since then, their bond has only grown stronger. Jason has always been great with kids, as we've seen with his interactions with his son, Danny Morgan. So, could Jason step up and become a father figure to Sasha's baby, or even claim paternity of the child? That could be a game-changing plot twist. Given the fact that Sasha is pregnant with Michael Corinthos' baby, and she's leaving the show in 2025, could Jason conveniently step in and say he's the father? It would certainly shake things up in Port Charles, and I think it's a possibility worth considering. Let's pause for a moment and think about the implications of this potential pairing. If Jason and Sasha were to get together, it would provide some much-needed stability for Sasha, who has experienced enough trauma to last a lifetime. Jason, as always, would be the strong, protective figure she needs, and their bond could give both characters a sense of purpose and healing. And let's not forget, this could set the stage for some major storyline development, particularly with the looming threat of Sasha's baby and her connection to Michael. If Jason were to claim the child as his own, how would that affect his relationship with Michael? Would it drive a wedge between them, or could it open the door for new alliances and family dynamics? So, what do you think, GH fans? Who should Jason be paired with? Should he rekindle things with Elizabeth, despite her complex relationships with other men? Should he and Carly revisit their past, even though it might complicate things with Sonny? Could Anna be the one to finally capture Jason's heart, or should he explore the unexpected possibility of being with Sasha? Next, we're diving into some major General Hospital drama, and let me tell you, it's a real tearjerker. We're talking about one of the most heart-wrenching breakups in Port Charles, the end of Molly Lansing Davis and TJ Ashford's relationship. These two have been through so much together, and it's hard to believe that after all these years, their love story might be coming to a close. But before we dive deep into why this breakup happened, let's take a closer look at the couple's history and what led them to this emotional turning point. First of all, if you've been a General Hospital fan for any length of time, you'll know that Molly and TJ's relationship has been one of the most beloved on the show. They've been through a lot over the years, from dealing with family drama to supporting each other through personal challenges. And yet, despite all the obstacles, they've always managed to come back stronger. Their relationship had such a solid foundation, and they were practically inseparable for a long time. So, when the news broke that they were going to break up, it felt like a real punch to the gut for fans. It seemed almost impossible that such a strong couple could fall apart, but as we know, soap operas love to throw curveballs, and this was one big one. Let's rewind a bit and look at the events that led up to their breakup. It all started when Molly and TJ made the decision to have Christina Corinthos Davis become their surrogate. This decision was monumental for the couple, as they had been trying to start a family of their own. But things took a tragic turn when Christina was involved in a serious accident, which resulted in the loss of their baby Irene. The grief that followed was unbearable for Molly, and it started to affect her relationship with TJ. While TJ wanted to grieve together as a couple and process the loss, Molly found herself unable to cope with the pain. As a way to escape her emotions, she buried herself in work, hoping that keeping herself busy would help her forget the immense sadness she was feeling. However, as we all know, grief doesn't work like that. Instead of helping Molly heal, it only created more distance between her and TJ. Vaganos, the actress who plays Molly, opened up in an interview about how painful it was for her character to be in the same space as TJ after their loss. Every interaction with him reminded her of the child they would never have, and this constant reminder only deepened her sadness. For Molly, being in close proximity to TJ became too much to bear. She was struggling to find a way to process her grief, and it was becoming increasingly difficult to do so with him by her side. On top of that, there was the issue of TJ suggesting they try again for a baby. While TJ was hopeful that they could try to move forward and heal together, Molly was in a very different place emotionally. She knew that she wasn't ready to take that step, and the thought of trying for another child felt like too much for her. In fact, Vaganos explained that this was one of the final factors that contributed to the breakup. For Molly, trying again for a baby after losing Irene just felt like an impossible task, and it added more strain to an already fragile relationship. It wasn't just the loss of their baby that caused the rift, though. The way they each processed their grief was so different that it eventually led to an emotional disconnect. While TJ wanted to support Molly and help her grieve, Molly couldn't handle sitting with the pain of their loss. She had a very different coping mechanism, one that involved shutting herself off from those around her. She threw herself into work and avoided facing the reality of her situation. In contrast, TJ was there, wanting to mourn together and give the relationship the space it needed to heal. But in the end, their differing approaches to grief left them feeling more isolated from each other than ever before. Kristen Vaganos, who plays Molly, shared how much of an emotional toll filming these breakup scenes took on her. She and Taj Bello, who portrays TJ, really went all in to make sure their characters' final moments together were as raw and emotional as possible. According to Vaganos, they were both ugly, crying snot all over the place during the scenes. The intense grief that both characters were experiencing had to come across on screen, and the actors made sure to pour every ounce of emotion they had into bringing the storyline to life. It wasn't just a breakup, it was the culmination of years of love, pain, and unresolved emotions. And for the actors, it was just as heartbreaking to film as it was for fans to watch. But let's not forget, in the world of soap operas, no couple is ever truly finished. While Molly and TJ may be taking a break right now, there's always the chance they could come back together in the future. Fans have long hoped for their reunion, and soap operas are known for bringing couples back together even after the most heartbreaking splits. Could there be a chance for reconciliation down the road? Will Molly and TJ find their way back to each other after they've had time to heal and grow separately? It's hard to say, but General Hospital has certainly shown us time and time again that love isn't always straightforward, and things rarely stay the same for long. As much as we hope for a future reunion, it's important to recognize that both Molly and TJ are going through their own individual journeys right now. After all, they've both been through so much, and they each need time to figure out who they are without each other. For Molly, this breakup could be the catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. And for TJ, it may be an opportunity to heal and figure out what he truly wants in a relationship. But whether or not they'll eventually come back together is something only time will tell. So, what do you all think? Are you as heartbroken as I am about the end of Molly and TJ's relationship? Do you think they'll ever find their way back to each other, or is this truly the end of the road for this once beautiful couple? I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. As always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the General Hospital drama, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. I'll be back with more juicy spoilers and breakdowns soon. Thanks for watching.